obviously playing Connecticut again. What's the biggest thing you learned from last time, and what do you do today to kind of improve on that? Or
Yeah, I think expecting their ball pressure, their traps defensively. They're not going to let me go left off of ball screens. I think just limiting our turnovers. We had 25 as a team, led to 29 points. So I think that right there, if we could have at least cut that in half, we give ourselves a good chance. And then, offensive rebounding, they did pretty well in. They did well in transition. So I think just those things, clean that up, and then if we play a better offensive game as well, we'll be in a good situation for sure.
Matt, go ahead.
Yeah, it's still very early into the season, game 4, but as it's 90 minutes away from tip, is there any pressure mounting on getting that first win?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I don't feel any pressure, and obviously I want to win every game. Like that's what a competitor wants. That's what this whole organization wants. Like we're not going into these games expecting it to be tough by any means. We're going into these games expecting to win, and that's how it should be. I don't think there's any pressure for us to get our first win. I think that will come at the time that it's supposed to. I think if we continue to learn and trust the process in the way that we have, and I think the real only disappointing thing was the first time we played the Liberty here. So I think coming out and giving a better showing to our fans is super important as well.
Sion, go ahead.
When you look back at that first game against Connecticut last week, just what do you feel like was the main cause of all those turnovers?
I think just, I didn't go into the ball screens with a real, authority of making a decision. I think collectively we didn't rise, whether it was the guards, we didn't rise up to give an outlet to the person that was getting the ball screen. I think our posts don't need to roll away as far. So if we can hit the post quickly after the trap comes, you're basically playing with an advantage there. You got 2 of the defenders behind you, and it's basically, 4-on-3 from there. So I think that's stuff we worked on in practice. I think just, matching their aggressive mindset. Don't let them be physical with you, be physical back. Just a mental toughness about us, I think will go a long way.
Go here in second row.
Felt like Saturday was maybe the most comfortable you had looked so far in the season. I guess what was working for you then, and are you feeling more comfortable as this is first week's gone on? Yeah, for sure. I think I definitely felt the most comfortable I have, and I thought I played a pretty good game. Obviously, take care of the ball a little bit better, but I'm going to try to reward our players that are running the floor, and if it's not successful, I'm going to continue to reward them because, that's the only way to get better is to try and continue to play fast, and that chemistry will come over time. And I thought I just played downhill to start the game. I thought I was trying to get my feet in the paint. I wasn't just, jogging along the three-point line. I had the ball in my hands a lot to start the game. Thought that was really good. I thought our drag screens in transition was good, but we just played with a different pace. I thought the pace that we played with was really good. I thought the pace that I played with, I just, kind of played with an energy about myself. So I think understanding that you got to do that the entire game, and that's exactly what I'm going to try to do tonight too.
Stephen, go ahead.
Christie just asked. I just asked Christie about this. When you're scratching and clawing for that first win, how can any win, propel you? Just very fundamentally.
For sure, I think that'd be huge, especially as we pack up to go on a little road trip and play 3 games on the road. I think if we were able to get this win tonight, it just gives you a boost of confidence in knowing that you can play with the best, especially New York and Connecticut by no means are the easier teams in this league. Like nobody's easy, but certainly not them. They're some of the best in the league, and a lot of older players that really understand how to play and take advantage of things that are, not going to be as effective for us. So I think just being able to find a way to get our first win will definitely give this group confidence. We're still a young group, and anytime you can get a W on the board, no matter how it comes, it definitely gives a confidence in the locker room, and it will give us something to continue to build on. And I'm sure whenever that first win does come, there's still going to be a lot of things to learn from. It's not going to be perfect by any means, and that's just what Christie says is like, I feel like we're playing with the energy and competitive spirit. Now it's just going from game to game, cleaning up the little things that we need to, and once we're able to put that together, the win will be there.
Chloe.
Yeah, you mentioned making quick decisions, and Coach talked about that a couple weeks ago, having you make quicker decisions. Just how do you make that a habit going into the professional league?
Yeah, I think it's just like almost playing with an aggressive mindset. I think when we played Connecticut and New York for the first time, I think I was just waiting too much for stuff to happen, like rather than like making it happen. Whether it was my reads, whether it was waiting for our post to come set ball screens, like that just lets the defense get set and do what they want to do. So I think just playing, with a little bit of a faster of a pace, that's just hard to guard. Cut harder, screen harder, dribble the ball up the court a little bit faster. I think every movement just needs to happen a little bit faster, and then the decision making happens a little bit faster. And I also think don't overthink it. Like this is just basketball. Like can play. You've played your whole life, and it's just kind of an instinct. It's not something you're really thinking about, and just kind of let your instincts take over.
With practice time non-existent right now, what are ways you can adapt and build that chemistry, if at all? Or is that something you just have to understand, give it time eventually?
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, we haven't really obviously been able to practice. I mean, we come here, but there's only so much you can do. You got to take care of your body first, so you're able to play these games on. You're playing however many times. I think we played 4 times this week, so there's only so much time you get on the court. But I think it's more than anything, it's film. You got to watch film and find ways to get better and hold yourself accountable in that area. I think also, talking with your teammates, like I know Mia, Leah, and Liz just sat there after practice yesterday and talked for a while about things that we thought would work well and things that, we could improve on. And, that just builds chemistry there. But I think, the more we play together in a real competitive environment, that's the best way to learn. There's also only so much you can do in practice. Like practice is great, and you learn a ton there and are able to install new stuff and go over schemes and things like that. But you got to be in a competitive environment of playing another team that doesn't know what you're doing to continue to build that chemistry. And the more we play, I think it's just going to get better and better for us.
Along those same lines, Coach Side just said, 22 days together as a team.
Yeah.
How much of a whirlwind has it been? Not just learning your teammates, but learning opponents and, all of it, all in the 3-week span.
Yeah, it's crazy. 22 days, and I'm already on my 4th WNBA game, and it's a little concerning considering you got to think about it. This is my 4th WNBA game, and it's only been 22 days, so how many days did I have to practice? Not many. So it is what it is. This is obviously a young group, and we're definitely given a tough schedule, but I think that's going to make us stronger by the end of the season. I think it's going to teach us a lot of lessons that maybe, if things were, a little bit easier to start with, that maybe we wouldn't have learned. And I think it just exposed ways that we have to get better and, how challenging this league is. And but I don't think it's anything anybody shies away from. You just accept the challenge, you get ready for it every single night. And I think that's been really good thing about our group is there's still been a really great positive attitude and energy about us every single day we walk into this building or we're on the road. Nobody's lost confidence. Nobody's lost that competitive spirit of going out there and competing and having fun. And that's what you would expect with a younger team and trying to find a way to find your first win.
You got one on Zoom. Willie, you want to go ahead?
Hi, Caitlin. You just mentioned it, 22 days, 4 games. I'm wondering if you've had any chance to, on your off day, if there is an off day for you, to sort of watch the rest of the league. This rookie class has lived up to its billing. In particular, I was courtside for your former teammate Kate Martin the other night. Have you got to enjoy your fellow rookies?
Honestly, it's hard because I'm traveling a lot and playing and practicing. I've tried my best to keep up on things that I can, and I wasn't watching the Aces game at the time. I was following on my phone. I think I got on my phone when it was halftime, and Kate had texted me the day before and told me that she was going to play and get in because Coach had told her. So I was just really happy for her. And everything that Coach Hammond says about Kate is just so true and something that I've known over the course of my 4 years at Iowa. She's just a great leader, a great person, somebody that's going to do a lot of the dirty work. She's not worried about herself. She's worried about what she's going to do to make the team better. So I'm just really happy for Kate. I'm jealous you were courtside to watch her play in her first game, but it'll be fun to play against her on Friday, and probably gonna have to poke a little fun at her on the court. So hopefully she guards me or something.
Played Connecticut less than a week ago. What can you take from that, and what have you learned from that?
Yeah, learned we got to take care of the basketball. 25 turnovers for 29 points doesn't give you much of a chance.
Christie, going back to the last game, there was that screen where Caitlin kind of got sandwiched. Would you have liked to see one of her teammates maybe step up or, be kind of a forcer out there? How do you balance that with everyone right now?
Yeah, I think she just got caught up between two really, really strong, tall, physical players. And, they were standing still. They didn't do anything, out of the way. I think our players will always stand up for their teammates. I didn't even see it until after the game was over when I was watching video. So, But I think her teammates will for sure, if there's something that needs to be, they'll stand up for sure.
Matt, go ahead.
No grace minutes at New York the last time out. Is there a reason behind that, and are you anticipating to, get her some minutes tonight?
Yeah, we're just trying to figure out rotations in the middle of games and during games, and since there's no practice time right now, Grace has her role, and if her number's called, she knows exactly what we need her to do.
Zion, go ahead.
Christie, when it comes to just just the schedule of playing every other day, just how do you make adjustments when, like you said, you're not really getting full practice time like usual, and you may not get the same amount of rest in between games?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough, especially for this young group. Trying to grow together, learn each other, have some chemistry when you don't have that practice time. And I said this earlier, we're sitting here and we've not had a single practice with Kelsey Mitchell yet. She started, she had a half of a practice before we left to go to Connecticut. So, there's all these different dynamics and we just don't have the practice time to build that chemistry. So it's happening in games.
Maybe a silly question, but what's the impact of just getting a win when when you're scratching and clawing for that first one? It doesn't solve all your problems, but there's got to be an emotional lift or something.
Oh yeah, winning solves a lot of problems actually. Yeah, but they're fighting. These guys, they've gotten better every game. The first Connecticut game, we just did not take care of the basketball. Still was in the game. So we are right. We've just got to do a few things that fix this here and fix that there. And I think we're right there. If we compete, we can compete with anybody.
It looked like Caitlin kind of asserted herself a little bit earlier in the game in New York. Is that part of this whole process, though, where you're trying to, get those practice times and trying to get a feel for, how everything works together?
Yeah, it's a process. It's time. That's all about building a team and building, with new impactful players. Caitlin's an impactful player, brought onto this squad, and Katie Lou Samuelson, another new player who, just had a baby 9 months ago. So, all these things are trying to come together. And I told the players today, 22 days. We've been together 22 days. And there's some expectations out there for this young Fever team that, they're thriving and striving to be what people are expecting. And so just like you said, just to get a win is really going to help build some confidence. We're playing two of the best teams in our league right now.
We've kind of spoken about the progress you guys are making. Having had time to watch the film, it seemed like this weekend was one of your better offensive performances. What did you like about what you guys were able to do offensively?
Yeah, I love the way our pace was good. Kelsey and Caitlin together and their speed is dynamic. So, you have two of those, and then, our ability to now, when the defense is set, for us to execute in the half court. I thought we did a better job of that as well. That's just the learning piece for all of us.
Christie, I think you have 4 and 6 right now games. When do you know when your next practice is?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to give our players a day off next Sunday. I think it is. I think it's after a back-to-back. I don't know how many games. I've tried not to pay attention when people are saying it, but we go into Vegas on a back-to-back, and I think we're their game 3 or 4. So I've got this young group who are fighting their asses off. They're learning. I love this group of people. It started last year, and they are just growing together, and it's a tough situation for them. But I appreciate their competitiveness and their ability to come in every day and stay positive. That's hard to do sometimes.
You've talked obviously a lot about the lack of practice time. With that, just how you balance Caitlin playing on the ball, running the offense, then kind of going more off the ball in those rotations.
Yeah, we're lucky with both Kelsey and Caitlin. Also, when E-Dub comes in, Christie Wallace, a missed basket can go off either side to either one of those guys, and we can push the ball, which helps us with our spacing and our timing. But yeah, she's also getting defended pretty tough from the time right before she crosses the half court line. So there's just times to give her a little break, take her off the ball, let Kelsey or let E-Dub or Christy Wallace or Grace Berger, run the point and give her a minute to come off screens and just, take a breather.
You got one on Zoom. Taka, want to go ahead?
Thanks, Ryan. Hi, Christy. In the last game, you had some success running those guard-to-guard screens with Kelsey Mitchell setting screens for Caitlin. Is that something we can expect to see more of? And what is it about those specific type of screens that you think is so beneficial?
Yeah, we're just looking to get some switches off those and maybe change the matchup a little bit, maybe cause some confusion. You got two great players coming off a screen with each other. Sometimes, the defenders will go with one or stay with one or take the low, and now we've got a wide open 3. So just them getting real creative, screening for each other can be fun. once we have time to, have some experience, be creative with it, understand and make reads off each other.